My parents publicly joked that I was a failed experiment compared to my sister, so I made sure everyone learned what they did to me growing up. My parents stood up at my sister's wedding reception and told 200 people I was their practice child and that they finally got it right with her. I'm 32. My sister is 28. We grew up in the same house but lived completely different childhoods. She got piano lessons, college funds, family vacations. I got a mattress on the floor and permission to work at 14 so I could buy my own clothes. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is what my father did when I was 16, and how my mother helped him cover it up. And now, after that speech at the wedding, I made sure everyone knew. Let me back up. The wedding was 3 weeks ago. Beautiful venue, expensive everything. My parents paid for all of it. They didn't contribute $1 to my courthouse wedding 6 years ago, but that's beside the point. During the toasts, my father got up. He was already drunk. He started talking about how they learned so much from raising me. Trial and error, he called it. Then he laughed and said they were glad they had a second chance to do it right. My mother nodded along. Smiled. Raised her glass. My sister looked uncomfortable but didn't say anything. Her new husband laughed. Other people laughed too. I sat there feeling like I was 16 again, invisible and worthless. My husband grabbed my hand under the table. We can leave, he whispered. But I didn't leave. I stayed through dinner. I smiled for photos. I hugged my sister and congratulated her. Then I went home and made a decision. See, when I was 16, I walked in on my father with my mother's best friend. They were in my parents' bedroom. The door wasn't even fully closed. My father saw me standing there. We locked eyes for maybe 3 seconds. Later that night, he came to my room. He sat on the edge of my bed and said, "You didn't see anything today," I said, "But I did." He said, "No. You didn't. And if you tell your mother, I'll make sure she knows this is your fault. I'll tell her you've been acting inappropriately around me. Who do you think she'll believe?" I was 16 years old. I didn't tell anyone. My mother's best friend kept coming over for coffee. Family barbecues. Christmas dinners. My mother had no idea. And I carried that secret for 16 years because I was terrified. But after that speech at the wedding, something snapped. I spent a week writing everything down. Not just the affair. Everything. How they gave my sister a new car for her 16th birthday and told me cars were earned, not given. How they paid for her sorority dues but refused to co-sign my student loans. How my father told me I was too stupid for college anyway. How my mother said I was dramatic when I asked why they treated us differently. I wrote about walking in on the affair. My father's threat. How I stayed silent because I was scared. How I watched my mother stay friends with that woman for years, completely oblivious. Then I sent it. Not just to my parents. To everyone. Every family member on their contact list. My sister. Her husband. My aunts and uncles. Cousins. Family friends. Even my mother's best friend, the one my father cheated with. Subject line: why I was the practice child. My phone started ringing within an hour. First my mother. Then my father. Then my sister. I didn't answer. My mother left a voicemail screaming that I was a liar. That I was jealous. That I was trying to ruin their lives out of spite. My father sent a text: "You have no proof. This will blow over." My sister called me selfish. Said I ruined her wedding memories. Said I was bitter and couldn't let her have one good thing. But other people reached out too. My aunt on my mother's side said she always suspected something was wrong with how they treated me. My cousin said he was sorry he didn't notice. Even one of my mother's friends admitted she always thought the favoritism was extreme. My mother's best friend didn't respond at all. But 2 days later, my mother called her and apparently she didn't deny it. Just hung up. My parents are now separated. My mother moved in with her sister. My father is staying in the house. My sister isn't speaking to me. Half the family thinks I'm vindictive. The other half thinks my parents got what they deserved. My husband says I did the right thing. That they humiliated me publicly so I had every right to tell the truth publicly. But I keep thinking about my sister's face in the family photo someone sent me from the wedding. She looks so happy. And I took that away from her. My therapist says I was protecting myself. That I spent years carrying their shame and I had the right to put it down. I don't know. I just know I'm tired of being the practice child. The failed experiment. The one who didn't matter. Was I wrong to blow up their entire lives just because they made a cruel joke? My sister showed up at my house yesterday with my mother. I didn't invite them. I was working from home, still in my pajamas at 2 p.m. because I haven't been sleeping. My husband answered the door and I heard my sister's voice in the entryway saying she needed to talk to me. When I came downstairs, my mother was standing there too. Her face looked older somehow. Tired. But not apologetic. Just angry. My sister started first. You need to take it back, I said. Take what back? The email. The lies. All of it. Mom and her friend talked, and she denied everything. You made it up because you're jealous. My mother nodded. Crossed her arms. You've always been jealous of your sister. This is a new low, even for you. I felt my husband move closer behind me. His hand touched my back. I looked at my sister. I walked in on them. I saw it with my own eyes. My mother laughed. Actually laughed. You were 16. You probably saw them talking and your imagination ran wild. You were always dramatic. He threatened me that night, I said. My voice was shaking. He came to my room and told me if I said anything, he'd make you think it was my fault. My mother's face didn't change. Your father would never do that. My sister stepped forward. Look, I get that you felt left out growing up. I get that you think we got treated differently. But making up an affair story to get back at them? That's psychotic. The word hit me like a slap. Psychotic. My husband spoke up then. You need to leave. My sister ignored him. Kept her eyes on me. Half our family won't talk to Mom now. Aunt Linda won't return her calls. Grandma told her she's disappointed. And for what? Because you couldn't handle a joke at my wedding? It wasn't a joke, I said. It was a toast. A slightly drunk toast. You're 32 years old and you're acting like a child who didn't get enough attention. My mother was staring at me with this cold look. I want you to send another email. Tell everyone you lied. That you were upset about the toast and you exaggerated things. No. Then you're not my daughter anymore. The room went quiet. My husband's hand pressed harder against my back. I waited for it to hurt. For those words to break something inside me. But they didn't. Maybe because some part of me always knew I wasn't really her daughter. Not the way my sister was. Okay, I said. My mother blinked. Like she expected me to beg or cry or apologize. My sister looked between us. Are you serious right now? You're just going to let her disown you? She already did that a long time ago, I said. This just makes it official. My mother's jaw tightened. You'll regret this. When you need family, when something happens and you have no one, you'll regret burning these bridges. I have family, I said. I looked at my husband. I have people who actually give a shit about me. My sister shook her head. You're going to end up alone. You know that, right? This is why no one likes you. You're bitter and vindictive and you can't just let things go. They left after that. My husband locked the door behind them and I stood in the hallway for a long time just staring at nothing. Here's the thing no one tells you about going no contact with your parents. You think you'll feel free. Relieved. But mostly I just feel hollow. My father hasn't reached out at all since that first text. My mother is apparently telling everyone I'm mentally unstable. My sister posted something vague on social media about toxic family members who spread lies and I'm pretty sure it's about me. But my aunt, the one who reached out before, came by this morning. She brought coffee and sat with me for 2 hours. She told me she confronted my mother about the favoritism years ago and my mother told her to mind her own business. She said she's sorry she didn't do more. My cousin sent me a long message saying he believes me. That my father always gave him creepy vibes. That he's cutting contact with my parents too. So I guess I'm losing some family and keeping others. The ones worth keeping, my husband says. I don't know if I did the right thing. I don't know if I should have just kept my mouth shut like I did when I was 16. But I'm tired of protecting people who never protected me. My therapist says healing isn't linear. That it's okay to feel like shit even when you did the right thing. I just wish it didn't hurt this much. My mother's best friend reached out 3 days ago. I didn't expect it. She sent a text at 11 p.m. asking if we could meet for coffee. Just the two of us. She said she had things she needed to say to me. I almost didn't go. My husband thought it was a setup, that my mother probably put her up to it. But something in the way she worded the message felt different. Desperate, almost. We met at a coffee shop 40 minutes from my house. Neutral territory. She was already there when I arrived, sitting in the corner with her hands wrapped around a cup she clearly hadn't touched. She looked older than I remembered. Thinner. Her hair was different, shorter. I sat down and waited. Didn't say hello. Didn't smile. Just waited. She stared at her coffee for a long time before she spoke. I'm not going to tell you I'm sorry. Because sorry doesn't cover it. I didn't respond. Your father and I had an affair for 3 years. It started when you were 15. It ended when you were 18, right before you left for college. My stomach dropped. 3 years. Not just once. Not just that one time I walked in on them. You saw us that day, she continued. I knew you did. I told your father we had to stop. That it was too risky. But he convinced me you wouldn't say anything because you were scared of him. He threatened me, I said. My voice came out flat. She nodded. I know. He told me. He bragged about it, actually. Said he had you handled. Something cold settled in my chest. He bragged about threatening his own daughter. She took a breath. Your mother called me after your email. She was hysterical. Said you were lying, that you'd always been a problem child. She asked me to back her up, to deny everything. And you did. At first, yes. Because I'm a coward. Because I didn't want my life blown up too. She finally looked at me. Her eyes were red. But then I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about you. About what we did to you. You were just a kid. I'm not looking for your confession, I said. I know. But I owe you the truth. Your father didn't just threaten you that one time. He kept tabs on you. Made sure you stayed quiet. Every time you came home from college, he'd find a way to remind you what would happen if you talked, I remembered. The comments. The looks. How he'd bring up my mother in conversations, how much she'd been through, how devastated she'd be if anything disrupted their marriage. Why are you telling me this now? She wrapped her hands tighter around the cup. Because your mother is telling everyone you're unstable. That you made everything up for attention. And I can't let her do that to you anymore. I already took enough from you. So what are you going to do? I'm going to tell the truth. To everyone. Your aunts, uncles, anyone who'll listen. I'm going to confirm the affair. All of it. I sat back. Felt my husband's words from this morning echoing in my head. Be careful. This could be a trap. Why now? I asked. You've been lying for 16 years. Why tell the truth now? Her face crumpled a little. Because my daughter is 16. And last week she came to me crying about something a boy at school said to her. Something mean and humiliating. And all I could think about was you. About what your father did to you. How we let him do it. How I helped him do it. She started crying then. Not the pretty kind of crying. The ugly, choking kind. I didn't comfort her. Just sat there watching her fall apart. I'm going to lose everything, she said. My husband, my friends, probably my daughter when she's old enough to understand what I did. But I need to stop being a coward. She sent the email 2 days later. Replied all to my original message with a full confession. Dates, details, everything. Confirmed that my father threatened me. Confirmed that they continued the affair for years. Confirmed that she lied to my mother when confronted. My phone hasn't stopped since. My mother's sister called me sobbing. Said she never doubted me but now she had proof. Said my mother refuses to believe it even with the confession, insists the woman is just trying to hurt her. My father finally called. Left a voicemail. His voice was shaking. You've destroyed this family. I hope you're proud of yourself. 3 cousins have reached out saying they're cutting contact with my parents. My mother's childhood friend sent a message saying she always knew something was off about my father. My sister hasn't said a word. But her husband called yesterday. He was calm, measured. Said he thinks my sister owes me an apology. That he didn't realize how bad things were. He said my sister is struggling, that she doesn't know how to process learning that our parents aren't who she thought they were. I told him that's not my problem to fix. The family group chat that I was never added to apparently exploded. My aunt forwarded me screenshots. My mother is calling the affair partner a liar, saying she's mentally ill, that she's trying to ruin their family out of spite. My father hasn't responded to anyone. And me? I don't feel vindicated. I don't feel relieved. I just feel tired. My therapist says I'm grieving. That I'm mourning the family I should have had, the parents I deserved. She says it's normal to feel empty even when you're proven right. My husband keeps asking if I'm okay. I keep saying yes because I don't know how to explain that I'm not okay, but I'm also not okay. I'm just existing somewhere in between. Part of me wishes I'd never sent that email. That I just stayed quiet and kept the peace like I always did. But the other part of me knows that staying quiet was killing me slowly. That carrying their secrets was poisoning everything good in my life. I don't know which part is right. It's been 4 months since I sent that email. I'm writing this because people keep messaging me asking what happened. So here's where everything landed. My parents are divorced. It went through fast because my mother refused to fight for anything. She just wanted out. My father kept the house. My mother is still living with her sister and from what I hear, she's not doing well. Not in a way that makes me feel sorry for her. More in a way that makes me feel nothing at all. She tried to reach out once, about 6 weeks ago. Sent a letter to my house because I blocked her number. The letter was 3 pages long. Most of it was about how I destroyed her life, how she gave me everything and this is how I repaid her. There was one line near the end that said, I don't know if I can ever forgive you, but I'm willing to try if you admit you exaggerated things. I burned it in the fireplace. Watched every page curl up and turn to ash. My husband asked if I wanted to talk about it. I said no. We ordered takeout and watched TV like it was any other night. My father sent money. $10,000, dropped into my account with no message. I sent it back. He tried again 2 weeks later. Same amount. I donated it to a domestic abuse charity and sent him the receipt. He hasn't tried since. The affair partner lost her husband. He filed within a week of her confession. She also lost most of her friends, the ones who were mutual with my mother. Her daughter apparently isn't speaking to her. I found this out through my aunt, who heard it through someone else. I don't feel bad for her. She made her choices for 3 years. She gets to live with them now. My sister finally called me last month. It was late, past midnight. I almost didn't answer. She sounded different. Smaller somehow. She said, "I need to say something and I need you to just listen." I didn't respond. Just waited. I was wrong. About everything. I called you psychotic and I told you no one liked you and I watched mom disown you and I didn't stop it. I thought you were lying because accepting that you were telling the truth meant accepting that my entire childhood was a lie. Her voice broke. I keep thinking about all the times I got things you didn't get. The car, the college money, the attention. I thought I earned it. I thought I was just the better daughter. But I wasn't better. I was just the favorite. And that's not the same thing. I felt something loosen in my chest. Not forgiveness exactly. Just a small crack in the wall I'd built. "I'm not asking you to forgive me," she continued. "I don't deserve that. I just need you to know that I see it now. I see what they did to you. What I let them do." "Okay," I said. "Okay. I hear you. I'm not ready to have you back in my life. But I hear you." She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "That's fair." We hung up after that. I don't know if we'll ever have a real relationship. Right now I don't have the energy to find out. But at least she knows. At least she sees it. The extended family split pretty cleanly. My mother's side mostly sided with me once the affair was confirmed. They'd suspected something was wrong for years but didn't want to interfere. My father's side went quiet. No one's explicitly taking his side, but no one's condemning him either. That's its own kind of choice. My aunt, the one who believed me from the start, comes over for dinner twice a month now. She brings wine and tells me stories about my mother before she became whatever she is now. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it just makes me sad for the person my mother could have been. My cousin and I text regularly. He's in therapy now, working through his own family stuff. Turns out watching your aunt and uncle implode makes you question your own parents' marriage. He's the closest thing I have to a sibling now. Therapy is helping. Slowly. Some days I still wake up feeling hollow. Some days I'm angry at myself for sending that email, for blowing everything up when I could have just stayed quiet and kept the peace. But most days I remember what staying quiet cost me. The years of carrying their secrets. The way I flinched when my father walked into a room. How I made myself small so they wouldn't have to look at me and remember what I knew. My husband has been the only constant through all of this. He hasn't tried to fix me or rush me through grief. He just exists next to me, steady and present. Last week he said, "I'm proud of you." I asked him why. He said, "Because you chose yourself." Finally. I'm learning what that means. Choosing myself. It's harder than it sounds. I still have nightmares sometimes. Dreams where I'm 16 again and my father is sitting on the edge of my bed telling me I didn't see anything. Dreams where my mother is calling me dramatic and my sister is laughing. I wake up and my husband is there and I remember I'm 32 now. That I don't live in that house anymore. That I don't have to carry their shame. People ask me if I regret it. Sending that email. Blowing up my family. The honest answer is I don't know. Some days yes. Some days no. Most days I just exist in the space between regret and relief, trying to figure out who I am without the weight of their secrets pressing down on me. I'm not the practiced child anymore. I'm not the failed experiment. I'm just a person trying to build a life that doesn't revolve around earning love I was never going to receive. My father sent one final message 3 weeks ago. It was short. "You won. I hope it was worth it." I didn't respond. Because it wasn't about winning. It was never about winning. It was about finally, after 16 years, refusing to be silent about what they did to me. I don't know if it was worth it. I lost my parents. I lost my sister, at least for now. I lost the idea of family I'd been holding on to, the hope that maybe someday they'd see me and love me the way they loved her. But I also lost the weight of their secrets. The fear that kept me quiet for 16 years. The shame that wasn't mine to carry. So maybe it was worth it. Or maybe I'm still figuring that out. Either way, I'm done protecting people who never protected me. I'm done making myself small so they can feel big. I'm done apologizing for taking up space in a family that never made room for me. I'm just done. And somehow, finally, that feels like enough.